Hello, Year 5, and that's a funny way of saying hello. Hello, Year 5, and welcome to your second English lesson for our visual literacy. How do we find this visual literacy? Has anyone creeped out a little bit? I know when I've showed you Alma before, some of you weren't particularly impressed. Hopefully it won't be too scary for you. It has been approved by Mr. Day, so we'll see how you get on though. So we're going to be looking today at using rich vocabulary. I can't get my words out today, Year 5. We're going to be looking at using rich vocabulary to describe a setting. There we go, perfection. So for our success criteria today, so what you need to be able to have done by the end of the lesson. So you need to be able to use synonyms for words that you know. So this is where all of those reading skills that we've looked at in the last 4 weeks are going to come to hand, because I always give you synonyms and antonyms for other words when I'm reading. You need to be able to use vocabulary to show degrees of meaning, so almost to infer meaning or to give context to the story or put an image in the reader's mind. You're then going to have to use descriptive language to create an impact on the reader. Okay, so this is using all of your adjectives, your persuasive devices, looking at personification, metaphors, similes. And then you're going to include that figurative language in your writing. Okay, so all of the skills that you know in Year 5 are all going to be in this writing by the end of the 2 weeks. So what I want you to do first is, on your piece of paper or your book in front of you, I want you to draw a spider diagram. So what do we know so far about the film? Okay, and I want you to pause the video and have a think. Just draw some lines off from your spider diagram. What do we already know so far based on your inference work from yesterday? So pause the video and just give yourself 2 minutes to have a go at writing down those ideas. Off you go. Okay, so we know it links to space. We've got the idea of an astronomer. So that's someone who studies the stars. And we know that's the astronomer's sun. Okay, so we're looking at something to do with our solar system and the planets. We know it's science fiction, okay, because we know that bears don't walk or don't move. So it's a wind-up bear, mechanical, so we know it's not real. We know it begins in an observatory. Okay, we've looked at the building and we've discussed what it is and why they use it. We've met the man, and we've met his mechanical bear. We believe that the bear and the man might know each other. We know there might be some form of relationship there, but we don't know enough yet to try and infer how well they know each other. Now, it is possible they've been to this observatory before. Oh, Miss Humphrey. It's possible they've been there before. Obviously, he has a key. And obviously, we've looked at the different clues that something may have gone wrong once upon a time in the past. We know that we've seen those pictures up on the wall. We don't know what those pictures are yet, but we've seen the broken equipment and it's like something tragic might have happened, because obviously we know it's been abandoned and it's not been looked after for a long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the video again up until where we've left it, and then we're going to have a go at some descriptive setting writing today. So what I want you to think about when we watch this video again is what techniques have been used to create a sense of atmosphere. So if you think about you as the watcher, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? Does it make you feel curious? Does it make you feel worried? Does it make you feel anxious? And at what point in time do your feelings and perceptions of this video change? Do you go from feeling happy and safe to feeling curious and not quite sure, and then feeling worried, and then feeling anxious, and then curious again, and then concerned and maybe a little bit confused by something? Think about how those views change and how they create that impact on you as the viewer. So what I want you to think about is the opening to the film. Okay, and in that opening, think about how it goes from dark to light when that door opens. So think about describing what the outside world looks like, what the inside of the observatory looks like, and how that changes. Think about the sound effects of what you can hear, okay, at different points of time. Think about the non-verbal interaction between man and bear. We've looked at this before when we've done some of our acting and hot seating in English and other subjects. That non-verbal interaction gives away a lot of information about a character. So think about that non-verbal interaction between the man and the bear and what kind of impact that has on you. What does that suggest to you about their relationship? Okay, and think about the facial expressions and body language, specifically the man, okay, to the point where we pause the video. So I'm going to play the video again and just have a think about how it's making you feel at different parts of the video. I've left it on a cliffhanger for you. So, based on what we've had a look at now, what I would like you to do is we're gonna come up with some adjectives or a word bank that's going to help us describe this opening part of our video. So I'm going to start it off with a couple, and then I'm going to pause the video and let's see if you can come up with any more of your own before I share all my amazing ideas with you. So I've got derelict. So derelict is when something is empty, it's bare, okay? I've got gloomy. Okay, so we've got the sense of gloom, it's dark, it's not particularly happy, it's got sad emotions that run with it. Sinister. So sinister is quite serious, quite dark. It's not just dark and gloomy, but it's really quite dark. Like there's almost like a bad feeling that's inside the building that's either harboring memories or maybe gives that feeling that something bad could happen when you're inside the observatory. I've got dismal. Okay, dismal. We've looked at dismal as one of our reading lessons. It's bad, it's dull, it's unhappy, it's not pleasant. Okay, and I've got mysterious. And when we describe something as being mysterious, that means that we don't have a full understanding of the building itself, so it's a bit strange, it's peculiar. Now I'm throwing out all these additional words here, so I'm going to stop talking now. What I want you to do is pause the video, give yourself 60 seconds to see if you can come up with some words. Think about describing the stars, okay? The sky outside, the mountains, the dome that is the observatory, what it looks like inside. When we open the door, what could you hear? Okay, think about the sound effects of the squeaking of the door, the turning of his mechanical heart and his key. You've got the footsteps that echo. You've got the looks of the dark wall. You've got the beam of the light. Think about all the different things that you can describe. I want to pause for 60 seconds and see how many words we can come up with to help us describe our setting. So pause the video, 60 seconds, off you go. Okay, well, whilst you've been busy off with your 60 seconds, I've come up with some extra ones. So we've got abandoned. Okay, we don't get the feeling it's been used for a while. It's dark, it's dismal, it's grungy inside, it's not clean, it's not very bright. So we get the impression it's been abandoned. No one's been in it for a while. Also, that squeaky door tells me that door's not opened very often, so it's built up and it's got tight over time from not being opened. We've got it's damp. Okay, we can see it looks like it's dripping with water. It's got green slime that might be up on the walls as well. And it looks all shiny. Now, rather than shiny and pretty, it looks shiny because of maybe that mildew or that water. Iridescent. Oh, what a beautiful word. So iridescent is what I would use to describe the stars. Very bright, shining, beautiful, almost like they sparkle like diamonds. I've got iridescent. Murky. Now, murky is what we describe water when it's a bit dirty, it's not clean, you can't see through it, so it's got a grunge feel to it. So I've got murky on there. Ominous. Ominous is when it's strange. So we've got mysterious, we're a bit curious, but ominous is when something's really weird, really strange, really out of character, really abnormal. And then we have squalid. Oh, what a brilliant word. So squalid when we describe something as being filthy. So being really dirty, disgusting, vile, filthy. So I've got the word squalid on there. So if there's any additional ones on there that you want to pinch or magpie, now's your opportunity to pinch them before I swap slides. Okay, so I'm going to model an example of our opening sentences. So I'm going to write the very first one, which you guys can use as the beginning part of our description. The second one we're going to have a go at writing together. So you might find that your example is slightly different to my example. And then the third one is you're going to have a go at your own. And between us, that first, second and third sentence is going to build that opening part of our paragraph before you write the rest of it. So here's my picture. So I'm thinking I need some words to describe it. So I'm going to describe what I can see. So I'm going to describe the sky. Okay, so I've got iridescent. So I've pinched that from my beginning, my word bank of how I'm going to describe my stars. I've got bright. Okay, I could think of a better word than bright. I could just go with iridescent. I've got a simile in here, twinkle like diamonds. Okay, so I might describe the iridescent stars as twinkling like diamonds. So here I've got a simile in now. So not even got adjectives, I've got a simile. I've got midnight, so I'm thinking of the time of night and the sky. And I've got galaxies. Okay, so I'm pulling my science knowledge here. Okay, we're doing space for science, guys. We know about our galaxies and our solar systems and the Milky Way. I'm going to draw some of that into this today because I can see stars. So I'm thinking about my space knowledge. So I need to start off with what I can see. So I'm going to type my first sentence. Worlds away in faraway galaxies. Now I've started with a fronted adverbial and I've started with a position adverbial. So I'm describing where it is that we're looking. So worlds away in galaxies, worlds away in faraway galaxies. This is my opening sentence. And then I want to think about, well, how am I going to describe my stars? I'm going to look at my adjective. I've got iridescent, I've got twinkle like diamonds. So, iridescent stars lit up. So here I've got my iridescence, I've got my language, I've got my vocabulary in here, my rich vocabulary. Now put iridescent stars lit up. Well, now I need to think, well, how could I explain how they've lit up? You know, am I going to add in another adverbial in here, or am I just going to have an adverb? So they lit up brightly. Well, I've got bright. Well, actually, I'm looking here and I've written twinkle like diamonds. So I think, do you know what? I'm going to up-level this. And I'm going to write a simile in here. So stars lit up, the midnight sky, twinkling like diamonds, okay? Now, not only did I just say iridescent stars lit up the sky like twinkling diamonds, I've added midnight sky. So again, I've got my additional adjective in there and I've got my simile. Okay, so that's my opening sentence there where I've just picked one element for my picture, the stars, and I've described it. Okay, so what you're going to do with me now is we're going to write the next part. Okay, so now I might be focusing on the moon. So what I want you to do is have a think, well, what kind of words can I use to describe the moon? Shout some out at me. Oh, okay. So we've got luminous. Okay, well done, we've got luminous. That's very bright, very vibrant. We've got illuminating. Now, illuminating is a good one. Now, you might know this from when we've looked at our science lesson, but does the moon actually give off light? No, it doesn't. So it reflects the sunlight. Okay, so although the moon, it looks like it's giving off that light, it's actually a reflection from the sun, and that's how it illuminates. So illuminate is when you brighten something up, you shed light on something. Got shimmering. Shimmering's a good one. Okay, we can almost describe that for like our beam of light that might come down from the moon. Oh, that's a nice one. So I might describe what the Earth's like. So obviously we're starting from the top of our picture and working our way down. What are those twinkling stars shining on? What is that moonbeam going to hit when it comes down to Earth? So now we need to write the next part of our sentence. So I'm going to start us off. So worlds away in faraway galaxies, iridescent stars lit up the midnight sky, twinkling like diamonds. Oh, I've got tranquil. The luminous moon. Okay, so I've got my opening adjective here. Okay, so the luminous moon. So I now need to describe, well, what's the moon doing? So what could my sentence be? Okay, so I've got cast its beam of white shimmering light, illuminating them. Now, before I write the rest of that sentence, you can see I've got white shimmering, so I've actually used an expanded noun phrase there. Okay, so I've added not one but two adjectives in there. So illuminating, again, my vocabulary, the sleeping world below. Now, I like the idea of using sleeping world below because that suggests an atmosphere of calm, of peace, and of quiet. Okay, so you might find you've got similar sentences. You might find you've done your own sentence, but now's your opportunity to see if you can improve on it before we move on. So your task now is you need to finish off the final sentence. So this is where that light now is going to fall on our dome of the observatory. Okay, and we're going to give a little bit more context as to why it's there. So think about some adjectives and have a go at writing a sentence on your own. Okay, so here are my adjectives. Okay, so we've got sullen, mountainside, derelict, abandoned. So I've pinched those from my beginning part of my video. So now I'm going to start writing about that moonbeam and how it's going to fall across this dome. So its blanket of light fell upon a sullen derelict. So I've got blanket of light. Okay, I've got a metaphor there because it's blanketing, it's covering, okay, this building it's about to cross on. But I'm describing this building as being sullen and derelict, okay, another expanded noun phrase. But I've gone from happy and peaceful, okay, and shimmering light and bright stars to sullen and derelict. I've changed the atmosphere here. It's getting a bit dark and twisting. Dome hidden deep in the mountainside, as if abandoned and forgotten. So here we've got hidden deep in the mountainside. So now it's got a dark secret. So now we're getting more creepy and it's abandoned. Okay. So your task now is you've written your opening already from the 3 sentences we've looked at. It's your turn now to have a go up until the end part of our video. Now, as a challenge, you need to include figurative language devices and high-level descriptive language. So please go back and check your work and edit and improve. Okay, so use the pictures to help you. Okay, good luck, Year 5.